Yeah, what's going on, guys? Hope everyone's having a great day so far. Caught a great trade last night. I know a couple people caught it, some people didn't. We gave the analysis on the stream last night. Ended up just kind of playing out a little bit later though. So we'll start by breaking that down just a second. I'm just sending this link out. If you guys can, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share this YouTube link, share this TikTok link. Get some more people on here, and then we'll go ahead and get started. What's up, Decaf? So somebody said how much you make today. So I made 290 last night heading into today. So I held this trade. Oops, sorry. Yeah, so this trade I caught last night made like 290. I got out most of my I got out the rest of my position coming into New York. So definitely a nice trade. Is my first trade this week though. Definitely can't complain. What's up, Lex? Decaf said GC been showing some momentum, yeah, for sure. All right, guys, got a couple people on here. We can go ahead and get started. So, I wanted to break down the trade that we were looking at last night. We ended up taking. So, hopefully, some of you guys took advantage of it. I know it played out a little bit later, but definitely still was a good move. Based off that 8 hour time frame, we can see we started to take out short term lows here. So we got a bearish bullish rejection here. Took that out. Another low here. Take it out. Sell side imbalance. We also had once we got up to this high last week. Was watching to see how we hold at this area. We ended up tanking again. So was definitely looking for more of those shorts last night. Seeing we had opened up the market with bearish pressure basically to start out the week here. So from the lower time frames on the 1 hour, what we were looking at last night was that run of the Asia Open liquidity, so buy side liquidity, because we were looking for shorts. Now, at first, I was thinking that we may see more buy side at least until we get into this imbalance, but price actually maintained this bullish bearish rejection here to the left. So once we ran out that liquidity while we were on our session, price was pretty much just ranging. So we had closed above this high, retest multiple times, retest. So what I was wanting to see was price actually, get a nice closure through it, and then see price maintain. So at this high point, we can see price action retested it multiple times, failed to close above it, and then we finally gave in with the sell side and seeing a nice impulse. We also printed a volume imbalance here on the M5 time frame, nice bearish engulfing, and then price kind of ranged here, and then we seen a nice drop. So that drop took us initially run out that previous day's low, which was here, so gave us a nice impulse down just around 150 160 pips with that move. And then we basically just kind of chopped around through London session. And then once we opened up New York, we started to go right to the upside. So I took most of my position as we were making our way down to that previous day's low. And then I closed out everything basically right at that same point here because we didn't continue down further last night. So as we were coming into New York, I just trailed my one contract I had left above like this high. So this candle took me out like right at 8 a.m. So that was the trade from yesterday. What I'm looking at today, somebody said nice caught that too with strategy. So I'm using TGFX strategy, the 888. You can check it out on YouTube, but I'm using specifically like the ATM model for the run on liquidity that I'm looking for. But based off what we are where we're at right now, guys, in the market, we have started to see a shift right back up. Now, we got this bigger sell side imbalance to the left, but with this shift up, we can see even on the 3 hour time frame, we are starting to see highs be taken out here to the left, actually getting closures above them, and we had a buy side imbalance print. So I am leaning towards that buy side until sellers can, start to show me otherwise, meaning like 1 hour imbalances, which the only one we have right here would be right here. Something like this where let's say sellers were to step back in here, I would want to see like a level like this get inverted or a sell side imbalance get created because the higher time frame is still technically bearish, but we can clearly see price action potentially shifting. So if we get something like this where we get, let's say we either form a sell side imbalance or even invert this one here, then of course we can start looking for shorts. But right now we are, like I said, bearish, but we're starting to switch bullish. So When we get to that point where potential shifts are happening, we see the 3 hour form buy side imbalance. We see runs at highs. We even got runs of highs. Also, if we just look at the gold chart, pretty much same thing. We got runs of two short-term highs. We didn't invert that imbalance, of course, but we did form one. Bullish continuation order block also closed here. So definitely leaning towards it. I just haven't got my confirmations yet. So until I get confirmation of buyers, I'm pretty much flat. I'm not looking to, take anything at this point. I'm just really wanting to see, do sellers step right back in here, take control of this market, or do we see, more of that buy side continue? Of course, I'm gonna lean more towards that buy side because gold is bullish overall, even on the weekly and monthly time frames. Of course, with this bullish pair at the moment, so just gonna be patient, wait to see how price holds. What we can see now is that retracement on this 1 hour candle. So what we could see is liquidity get taken from that Asia open, and then we get some type of transition here to continue us higher to fill in this imbalance range still left. So that's ideally what I would be looking for. If you guys are looking for a trade, but I did want to hop on, still monitor this with you. But anytime we start seeing that shift, especially going back bullish, I don't want to force sales, but I also don't want to rule out sales because we haven't got full confirmation yet. But I think buys are definitely looking good. Yep, I appreciate you guys following, liking the live, sharing the live. Thank you. Yeah, definitely a lot of back and forth right now, guys. But we just got to continue to flow with that order flow till price shows us otherwise. Like I said, right now we're starting to see that flip to the upside. Decaf said, "J. Will, can you check platinum and let me know your bias?" Yeah, I can check platinum. What's platinum's symbol? I haven't looked at platinum. What's up, Des? Brandon, what's going on? Said PL1. Okay, PL1 futures, platinum futures. All right, so checking out platinum. Let's start on the weekly. Let's see where we at. So we had all-time highs on platinum, or no? No, we ain't at all-time highs. Okay, definitely bullish right now based off that weekly time frame. Seeing some retracement. We ran out 2021's high. What was this last week? So definitely ran out a significant high that hasn't been touched in a while last week, but still seeing price action continue just based off the weekly. Let's look at the daily time frame, looking like buy side continuation, continuing to form new day opening gaps or new is this new week this one here. This is Wednesday to Thursday. Some nice new day opening gaps being formed. So definitely seeing buying pressure, but we are starting to kind of slowly move sideways. If we look at this just from this perspective, from this candle's wick high, I mean, even down to this wick low, unless you want to use like this wick low from this candle, but this candle's wick low, or even this one, we can see price action just really trading within this in this range. So basically, within that new day opening gaps range. So let's just mark that up. So with price just kind of moving sideways here, it can definitely get tricky, especially when we notate it. You can see multiple doji candles form here on the HA time frame, and that's kind of your indication. We don't really have a clear direction, starting to move sideways here. If we just track price, we have ran a short-term low, came back, ran a high, maintained. No short-term lows taken after we took that high. So I would say, definitely potentially buy side down at these lows back up to the highs, because this is kind of your range right now. You do got an order pull here, level of demand. You got a nice bearish bullish rejection, retest here again. We drop down to 3-hour. You'll see a 3-hour trying to hold up. We're just not getting expansion. So we're kind of playing between that new day opening gap there and then this sell side imbalance here. So kind of stuck between that range. So it's not really a clean pair, I would say, as far as the price action. But yeah, I would still technically be bullish. 1-hour time frame. So 1 hour, we did just run out this low, but we'd be trading right back into this high that we can continue to be respected. So honestly, I probably wouldn't even touch platinum until we really just start seeing some movement, or your best case scenario, I would say, for buy side right now would be either a nice closure above this imbalance range to the left. So something like this, we get a nice closure above and through it, then price maintain it, something like that, taking price back up to higher range. Or ideal setup would be, as long as buy side maintains and we don't start taking out a bunch of lows. But oops, not bad. Seeing price stab down like here, retest, and then come up higher, something like that. Yeah, make sure you guys hit that like button. I appreciate it. Dennis said check out euro. Okay, we'll check out euro. DCAT said the sideways movement on PL got me looking for short-term shorts, but okay, overall bullish is nice. Yeah, I would say because price has been respecting this range, you might be able to catch shorts here too. As long as price shows you that transition, take price right back down. It's just when you're playing in a range, you just never know when it's going to be the breakout. You know what I mean? So you see price action respect within this consolidation. The day you look take that sales trade, the day price ends up impulsing. So consolidation can be tough. Not my ideal market to trade. I try to catch it as early as possible, but you don't really know you're in consolidation until price is chopping and you're in consolidation. So try to catch it as easy as possible, but yeah, definitely potentially like you said, short-term sales back down the lower range, or short-term buys back up to mid-range where some balances, or potentially back to higher range. But yeah, we can check out euro though. Check the chat. All right. Euro USD. So Euro USD, guys. So let's start on the daily time frame. We did have a run of a low here. We had a volume imbalance to the left. That price has inverted. So seeing a little bit of sell side here based off that daily. We did start to show some order consumption here, but we retested this bearish continuation order block, got a rejection, came down lower, rejected lower. So kind of back and forth in this range. This sell side imbalance, kind of what we can see holding price that took us lower. Let's see what we got here. This order block kind of being the level, even this, if we mark up the low, being the order pool here. We'll go to lower time frame, mark up the range, but we can see, this is the level price has been tested into multiple times. And go ahead and get rid of this. Put this here. So kind of our range back at this low, the sell side imbalance right now, H8 is looking bearish still at the moment, but we are seeing, some buyers step in. 3 hour time frame. We have not taken out a short-term high just yet. We did, or actually we closed this candle in about a minute. So looks like we will be taking out one short-term high here, maybe two. So with that, let's see. We also may be forming a buy side imbalance here. So yeah, I would say we're starting to see a shift back off this low. Of course, because we're about to close that H3 candle. So trading back into this high, I would be careful though, because we haven't really got a clear switch just yet. But we started to see order consumption, seeing expansion. 3 hours looking good, bullish quasi, imbalance, running highs. We dropped to the 1 hour. We can see this is 6 p.m., 7 p.m. We didn't run out the Asia Open as far as like the low here, but we did run out the high and just been showing continuation. So it's looking like buy side right now, just based off this expansion. Seeing a nice impulse taking us up here. But I would be careful about just buying right into this level, because technically H8 will still be bearish until we start inverting like this sell side imbalance. So like usually for me on gold, I like getting that H8 confirmation. But it's all dependent on how you like to trade the market. So let's say over the next 5 hours, H8 closes above the sell side imbalance, then I definitely would like, potential buy side. But if we kind of just come and trade into it and get a reaction, you probably could still see a short, at least to retest a level of demand before continuing higher. So yeah, I would say starting to shift bullish, but be careful taking buys right into this sell side imbalance right here. What's good, bro? So Z said, what site can I start trading on? Check out TradeOvate. TradeOvate would be the one. Or Trading View, you can start actually trading on with a broker like TradeOvate if you're trading futures. Or if you're just looking for a broker on the FX side, I would say get Plexi. On the future side, TradeOvate. Appreciate y'all liking and live, sharing it for me. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got right now, guys. We just closed that H3 candle, still within that sell side imbalance range. H8 time frame. Of course, we did form a new day opening gap here, so we probably will see more expansion. Maybe. I think I had GC up when I first started. Yep. So now that we got that, that bearish candles closure, and we basically, this is an 8 hour imbalance. This is an 8 hour imbalance, but we did close above it on the 1 hour bearish continuation order block form. So we may see price action just kind of respect here at this level and then continue higher into that imbalance. I appreciate it, bro. So Sale said, can I use trade on my phone or do I need a desktop? You can trade on your phone. Yep, you can trade straight from your phone. Really, I mean, if you want a platform to trade on, like you'll need MT4, MT5, like as the platform, but you just need a broker to trade with that you'll load your money on and take your money off. So I would recommend Plexi if you're going to use like MT5 or Trade Locker. And then if you're going to trade like futures, then you could go straight on Trading View here and then link your TradeOvate broker and trade on Trading View. That's what a lot of people do that trade futures, but they're kind of like the same thing as far as like price action. So you can trade gold on the FX side or trade gold futures. Either way, though, you don't need a desktop in order to get started. You can trade on your phone to start with. Desktop just makes it easier so you can see everything, spread your chart out, but it's definitely people that just trade straight from their phone. Yeah, bro's going crazy liking the live. Appreciate you, bro. Karina said I definitely trade from my phone. Yeah, I mean you don't need nothing special to make that happen. You can definitely trade from your phone. I was trading from my phone for the most part too before I got my first laptop. And it's crazy to think about because yeah, before I was trading, I was just using like my work laptop if I needed to get on anything. I had my fiance's laptop too at one point, and then yeah, I finally was like, let me go ahead and get my own. Yep. So this is Trading View that I'm trading on. So I got both. So I trade on MT5 with Plexi as my broker, and then I trade straight on TradingView with TradeAvate. And it's just easier for me because I do all my markups and everything on TradingView, so I can just execute right on TradeAvate or right on right here. Gundam said, any advice for a beginner? Um, Advice for a beginner. I would say take your time. Don't think that you got to be in a rush to make money because you're gonna lose more at first in the beginning. So if you want to lose less in the beginning, just take your time to really study and learn because it could quickly turn into like gambling or something like that, to where you just load an account, blowing account, loading account, blowing account, which also helps you to learn. But I feel like there's a lot of different ways that you can learn without having to go through like financial turmoil just to figure this trading thing out. So I would say take your time, start looking up information for free online first before you have to pay for anything. Check out babypips.com. Go on YouTube and look up, um, day trading for beginners. Start finding your lane, whether that's you want to trade like forex or you want to trade like options or whatever the case may be that kind of fits your window. If you want to trade like now, like overnight or later in the day, so I'm on EST time. So if you want to trade like after work, after that 9 to 5 time, this would be the perfect time to trade futures or forex because you can actually trade, overnight. Whereas the options market, you can only trade from that 9 to I think 4 p.m. period. So or 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. So I would say that once you find what you want to do or what you want to trade, find influencers online or trading coaches and start following their content, start watching people trade live so you can start learning more. And then when you feel comfortable, invest into a course. But you can get a lot of free information just on YouTube. Karina said, how long you been trading for? So this is my 7th year trading. So Zoli said, hey Jordan, how was New York session for you? I didn't trade actually New York session. I traded this sell last night from this high here down to the sweep of previous day's low. So I got a nice move last night. So today I was kind of just sitting on my hands to see where we're going to get sell side continuation or where buyers going to step in. And as soon as we open up here, buyers just impulse. So I was like, let me sit on my hands, wait to see how the H8 closes. We end up closing in this previous bullish candles range, but that next candle just opened up and traded higher. So I'm like, instead of me trying to force sales here where I could see price recovering, let me just be patient. I was also seeing a 3-hour shift here as well. So I'm like, let me just wait until I get my higher time frame confirmations and just stay out. So right now I'm leaning more towards that buy side as we are seeing buyers hold up. And yeah, I'm just kind of waiting patiently. So I didn't take anything during New York, just Asia. Karina said, damn. Yeah, it's been a minute for sure. Yeah, it's been a long journey. I'm not going to lie to you. So Gundam said, at what age did you start trading? So I'm 29 right now. So I started trading was like 23-ish because I completed 6 years. So I'm into my 7th year. RJ said target for sales is 330, 3,330.5. Yeah, for sure. So I'll say sell side, you said 330. Oh, you talking about like a quicker move now? Target for sales is 3,330.5. Maybe you mean, am I tripping? Or maybe you meant for buys? Because we're below 330. Are you saying like you want to see that swept and then sales? Gunham said, I'm 22. I hope I can learn how to do this over time. No, you for sure can. Like, don't think I would say you in the best position to do it now. Do it early. You know what I mean? Do it before, I don't know, your situation, you got kids or anything like that, but definitely do it before your time is starting to be uh, taken from all different places. I would treat it just like you signed up for to be a doctor or whatever, doctor, lawyer. Like treat it the same. Like you're going for a high paying profession, and just study day in day out. Like create, you're gonna have to be responsible to create your own curriculum, like whether that's the course you buy or looking at the market 30 minutes a day, an hour a day to study. Like I would say, you young, take it super serious, so you don't have to balance your time. I think that was my hardest thing, because when I first started, that I had like a 9 month period while my fiance was pregnant with my son, and then after that, it was like I had to continue to learn how to like split my time. So I was tired a lot just trying to learn how to um, still be like that trading athlete, learn and get better while also, splitting my time with family, work, school, all that stuff too at that time. So it was like it was a lot. So if you don't got a lot of things taking up your time, I would say lock in, bro. So y'all says, do you see any confluence for a sell down to 3307 ish? Yeah, I mean, like I said, I like sales. We took the sales last night, but we're starting to get this shift right here. So we're starting to get this impulse taking us back up. Yes, we're in a good range that we could see price action transition, but is it really? You got to be careful, especially with gold on the sell side, because once it's ready to go back bullish, it'll just go. So you really just want to be patient. 3 hour time frame looks like we just kind of filled this in here to the left. 1 hour, 1 hour, I would at least, if I was going to go short, I would want to at least see this high taken above the Asia open, and then see some type of transition like this. But honestly, right now, I'm sitting on my hands for sales until we start forming like sell side imbalances or inverting here, because we're starting to, shift higher. He said gold resistance at 3347. 3347. Okay, yeah, back at these highs. Yeah, I agree with that. Sorry, I'm trying to check the chat. Karina said I'm only on day 2. We'll keep going. That's good you got started though. RJ said, no, not quick, and swept themselves. Gundam said, do you make good profit trading? Yeah, I mean, I do pretty good. I'm able to, take care of my family, but I'm definitely not rich yet. I'm not jumping off backflipping off a yacht yet. So I got some ways to go. RJ said, let's see, 4 years of college, 4 years of learning on your own. If you can hold yourself accountable, it works. Yeah, for sure. If you lock in, honestly, like, to be real, it's so much information out here that I honestly feel like if you guys lock in for 6 months to 9 months, maybe a year, of like really putting in, I would say, like going to school, like you put in, I would say at least 3 to 4 hours a day just in the trading. Like if you're working, the rest of your time you just use to study trading. Try to, at least if you can't do 3 to 4 hours a day, even if you do like, okay, I'm gonna set aside 1 hour each day, but I'm gonna do it 7 days a week. You know what I mean? And just do it around your schedule. I think you can really be profitable in that much time, just because it's so much out there, but you also do have to gain experience. BMW said gonna take like 3 to 9 months. Let me see. Sorry guys, I'm trying to read. This chat. He said gonna take 9 to 12 months to actually learn. If you go into day trading without any experience, you lose. Yeah. Yeah, almost 100% of day traders only have a 50% win rate. Yeah, you don't need to win a lot for sure. You just got to be able to control your risks. Riley said, "Think we'll go down to take that draw before. Think we'll go take that draw before going down. I think we will. We got this imbalance right here to the left that we haven't touched. I don't really see any reason for gold to collapse right now at this point, unless it really just starts showing some heavy selling pressure. Um, let's actually see if we formed a new day opening gap because we can't see it here on this chart. You may be able to see it. Yeah. So something like this. Let me get rid of this right here. Let's say we come down with some strong bearish pressure and the new day opening gap gets inverted and we see, price action trade back through it, retest it, respect it, because we are still bearish, like I said, on the higher time frame, but we're just starting to get that impulse. So similar to that setup that we caught last night. Now this one was a little bit lower, but this one was here. Now I liked sales a lot more last night because we were clearly still in a bearish leg of structure. Right now we're starting to see, buyers step in. So it's a little bit more I guess I would say lower probability. But see how we broke above the high and then transition. This is what we really want to see, that Asia open. We want to see that high taken as the draw, and then we start seeing, a trade down lower. But even if we didn't get that, what we would want to see at least, I would say, would be a run back through that new day opening gap range, which was here, and then price to retest, and then we see sales. So I would want to see that same thing occur, but over here for that sell side. But the run of a high would be, even more of a plus. Riley said, I'm tempted to enter long, so close to passing this eval. Yeah, I don't blame you. I think, it's looking pretty good on that buy side, to be honest, just from how we impulse. But, we may see a take profit event at least during Asia. Just be patient, though. So let me bounce back over here. Samuel said, "What do you do outside of trading to improve your performance on the charts?" Definitely meditation and visualization. That's been key. That's something Ray put me on very early, like back in 2021 when I ended up buying his course, his 5-day course. That's one of the things that he drilled in heavy, is like being able to utilize your mind. That's kind of like your biggest asset as a trader. So all my people that aren't into meditation or anything like that, I was never like a woo type of person. I pray, of course, but like I wasn't into like meditation or anything like that. But doing that meditation and like starting to see myself as a successful trader and going back in my mind and visualizing mistakes that I made and recorrecting those mistakes in my mind helped a ton. Definitely working out to increase discipline. But I would say, like, if I could pinpoint one thing where I really seen a difference is, one, journaling, of course, but outside of trading, doing that meditation, because it also keeps you calm. Because when you get into those losing streaks, you need to have that breach between thought and action. So I may think, okay, I need to hurry up and jump in this market, or I may think I need to overtrade, or I may think I need to do X, Y, and Z that's going to be detrimental to my trading, but I can stop myself before making that action. So that's what like meditation does. It stops from you being like reactive, and you can just really sit back and look at the full picture. And then you can also start doing visualization. So all athletes that have been very successful, I know that's something Kobe talked about a lot, is just mental reps. And there's studies out there that find that you can literally think about yourself doing the same thing that someone does physically, and you can still improve your results by a certain percent without even having to do the actual rep itself. So just that knowledge alone, knowing that you're powerful and you can literally create your life, taking meditation serious. I think it will be like one of the biggest things I could say. Yeah, and definitely check out this book, Psycho Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. I recommend this to everybody. This is the same thing, not necessarily about trading. It's about reprogramming your mind. So basically, the same thing of seeing yourself in a different light and doing those mental reps to help you, get towards where your goal is. Because it's like, I don't know if you guys are any programmers or anything like that or done like CNC work, but that's one thing that reached out to me because I used to do like CNC and stuff like that. So when you program a CNC machine, you have it cut out and do X, Y, and Z to this part or whatever, and it sends the part out. But what can happen is once that the robot arm or whatever is doing its job, it can mess up. So you have to basically restart the job. So that's what you're doing in your own mind. So you're like the operator and you're telling your mind, look at this situation, fix it. And then we go back. You go back to the chart and actually physically do it. You may still take a loss. Okay, I got to go back, reprogram in my mind, see myself doing this better, doing that better, or see myself just staying out of the market when there's not a trade. So doing that stuff helps a lot, man. Sorry, I get to blabbering. Alfredo said you don't do prop firms. So yeah, I trade one funded account right now, and then I trade my own personal. Alfredo said, is that a comment from a YouTube video? Yeah, so I'm on I stream on YouTube and TikTok. So I'm sorry you guys can't see like both. RJ said, yeah, no sales yet. Anything above 330 is valid for sales, in my opinion. Oh, I got you. You saying sales above that. Past 2 days long. Got you. Alfredo said, meditation and journaling clear my mind a ton for sure. Bryce said, how can I get started, bro, from scratch? You want to get started from scratch? I would say check out babypips.com. That'll start putting you on game as far as like what trading is exactly. And then you can kind of build it up from there. Start to head over to YouTube University and start checking out free videos. Look up day trading for beginners and then just kind of move from there. But once you get acclimated to what trading is and you start finding people on YouTube and stuff like that, like I said, you want to find out if you want to trade options, which is more so like I would say I don't know any option traders that don't scalp. So you're like in and out of the market pretty quick within like minutes, probably 20, 30 minutes tops. I'm more of a day trader intraday. So I may trade 2 to 3 hours. Not saying like I'm in front of the chart for 2 to 3 hours, but I'll be, in a position for 2 to 3 hours, and then I may even, just got like hiccups. I may be in the trade for like 2 to 3 hours, or I may even be holding overnight for like 6, 7 hours or something like that. So yeah, you got to kind of see what type of trader you want to be, what fits your schedule. Like I said, options is early, like only 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. is when those markets are open. I would say if you got to kind of trade around a 9 to 5, definitely Forex or futures to trade like overnight sessions. So like this time is kind of perfect. You get off work, you can chill out for a little bit, and then you can see if you can get a setup that night, make some money, go to bed, repeat, after work the next day. All right, let me check this other chat, guys. So Cam Martin said, I co-sign the meditation. When I meditate regularly, it helps make it easier to stick to my game plan and enables me to cut losing trades faster. Yeah, I mean, meditation and trading is definitely a game changer. I would say in any profession because you really can. I feel like it's an edge that nobody had. Like people have it, but people don't utilize it. You know what I mean? Usually our minds are naturally programmed to be like worst case scenario. So we always, let's say a situation happened at work or whatever, or let's say we trying to get a raise or whatever. We're thinking about the worst case scenario instead of thinking about like all the opportunities that could be provided. So when you understand that, okay, it's a immense amount of opportunities out there, and I can sit back and literally see myself in that chair doing that thing. And then when I do that repeatedly, you know what I mean, I do that every morning or every night, and I can do that for, let's say, 30 days straight. I'm gonna literally start waking up and seeing things that align with being that trader or being that person. Like if it's, oh, I want to get healthy, I promise, if you sit down today and start just thinking about how your life would be if you were a little bit healthier, or you were that perfect weight, or I mean not perfect weight, but whatever weight loss journey or exercise journey, you'll start to see a week from now a new gym just open up, or you'll get one of your friends that hits you up like, hey, I need a gym partner, or you know what I mean. You'll start seeing healthier foods that you'll like it starts to be like a draw of attraction as well once you start doing that too. So it's like once you start pulling that string, you know what I mean, you can really take off. And that's just the beginning. Like I'm not gonna go too much into it, but yeah, you can definitely make some stuff happen if you meditate and be intentional. So the greatest case that, can you look at MLGO? So I'm not trading stocks. Chris said, what's the most you made from trading in a single year? I would say most I made in a single year was just replacing my income. So you gotta go. So replacing my salary. Biggest one payout that I got was 10K though. But like I said, I'm not making too much. I'm making enough to pay my bills, but I'm not I'm not rich yet, guys. So RJ said futures gives you more leeway, especially if you don't worry about Greeks. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like I wanted to get into options at one point, but it was like the Greeks and all that information, and it was like felt like super scalps. I was like, I don't think this is my fit, but I definitely want to get back into it though. So somebody said, how long did it take you to learn? It took me, I would say, I mean, it didn't take long to learn. It just took a lot of time to perfect. So I probably would say within the first year, I could at least understand what I was doing. Okay, Adonis, you're gonna have to leave, son. You can't play in here right now. I'm on my stream. Come on. I'll be right back, guys. Yeah, my bad, guys. So someone said, how long did you take? So I say um, first year, I feel like I got the information down. It was just took long to perfect it. So I would say over the next 2 to 3 years was like the perfection point, and then 4 years till now was more so just build psychology and consistency. So I'll say realistically to just learn it, just a year to just learn what I'm looking at. Um, Trading the market, how to place trades, how to scale in and out of trades, as far as like taking profit, trades and stop loss, things like that. Like building on a strategy, making rules and risk management for a strategy. But then after that, it's like how can you perfect just that information? Because the charts in itself is not as hard as you think. It's just more so about your psychology and you staying consistent once you get a system to trade. RJ says psych is the hardest part. Yeah, 100%. But yeah, guys, what we can see right now, we're just kind of expanding here. Once we close that bullish can or bearish candle in that previous bullish candle's range, I knew it was potentially going to be a bullish continuation order block. Of course, we still got 32 minutes or so for that closure. So Bryce said, when do I know it's going to go up or down? So the main concept that I trade or that I focus on is order flow. So how we identify order flow, and the easiest way I can kind of explain it with you being new to trading, is using the higher time frame. So I use the 8 hour and 3 hour and even the daily. And what I'm asking myself is, are we taking out highs or lows first? That's like the first question. So a high will be considered. Now you may get to the chart and it's green and red. I use white for sell candles and blue candles for buys, just because Detroit Lions. But what I would consider a short-term high, bullish, bearish rejection. So a buy candle followed by a sell candle, that high is a short-term high. So once I get a closure, which is on the H8 time frame, once I close above this point, that's where I'm going to my lower time frames to look for moves to the upside, and vice versa. If I'm getting short-term lows, so like in this case, a buy candle or a bearish candle followed by a buy candle, that lowest point of that candle, once I get a candle to close below it, it has to actually close below it, then I'm going to lower time frames to look for sales. So that's like in the easiest way for me to put it without explaining like imbalances and stuff like that. That's how I get my direction from the higher time frame. Are we taking, that's a simple question, or are we taking out highs or are we taking out lows? If we're taking out lows, I'm looking for sales. If we're taking out buys, I'm looking for buys. So then I go to lower time frames and I find different areas and confluences on why I should be looking to buy. So right now, 8 hour time frame, we've been taking out lows still. We have not started to shift back to the upside, but this is when it gets difficult, because after we took out the previous day's low yesterday, we started seeing a shift. So I definitely think we may start to head back bullish. So it's a little bit that's one thing you will definitely have to learn is order flow, but using the higher time frames to get a clean direction based off of highs being taken or lows being taken, and then dropping down to lower time frames to get confluences. RJ said you want to see orders taken. Inducement is the biggest key. Yeah. So kind of like the same concept, orders being taken. Order blocks are basically what we consider, are for my strategy, what we consider to be holding um, liquidity above or below in the market. Buyers are getting in when we see these order blocks being printed. So when they start getting taken out, that's meaning that buyers were being taken out. Same thing for the buy side. So bullish bearish rejection or bearish order blocks, those highs are being taken. This is all stop losses. So sellers are being taken out of their positions. Anyone that got in up here, placing their stop loss here or trailing here, they're being taken out of this market or liquidated as we push higher. So once we see buyers do that and step in and take control and maintain, that's like our indications of seeing what side to kind of flow with. But everybody's strategy is different. So that's personally what I use. So RJ said, I'm thinking I'm having internal identity with trading. Internal identity with trading. I don't know how to talk my language around most people that don't trade. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing too. Like, you'll get that separation from, I mean, I wouldn't say family and friends because it's still the same, but it's like, I don't know. That's a good point. It's like I'm trying to think of the best way to word it. I think it's just like being part of a team. Like, if you're not a person that plays sports, or let's just say football, for example. Like, you don't play football, but you may be into it, or everyone's into making money, so that may not be a good example. But let's just say you're not into sports, but you got friends that are into sports, and then they end up joining the team and getting really good at it. Then it's like they're only hanging out and around people that play sports, and when you get around them, it's like that's all they're talking about, and you barely know what they're talking about. So vice versa, kind of the same thing with trading. It's like you don't really have trading becomes so much of your identity that you feel like you don't have much to talk about. But I see what you mean. Oh, DJ Roscoe said, how did you pass that where you just embrace being a trader? I mean, even still to this day, like it's still something hard to explain to family and friends, because I'm just now to the point where I'm comfortable paying bills and paying ahead, and you know I would say quote unquote secure, because I mean, in reality, like if I had 6 bad months in the market, then I may have to go back and clock in again. You know what I mean? So I don't want to portray to you guys like, oh, I'm at a crazy level. Like, you guys are really seeing me in that early stage of becoming profitable and more profitable and more profitable. So I'm excited for that, but I understand too, like it's still a gamble at the end of the day. So for me to step into it, that's still something I'm working on today. Like I still will see people and they're like, "Hey, what you doing now?" And I maybe like, I'm doing a couple of different things, but I mainly just trade. You know what I mean? I kind of say stuff like that. But like really stepping into it, I feel like this past few years, I really just stepped into like, you know what, I'm a day trader. You know what I mean? That's what I've been proficient at. I've helped also other traders get to certain levels too. So, just stepping into that trading coach role, day trader role. Um, I don't think anything would just help it. It's just more so getting confirmation through the work that you put in, and through, of course, if you're not like a trading coach, but just the results that you're able to get for yourself will help you just to build more confidence. And then I think even too, just stepping out and saying like, you know what, this is the thing that I love. This is the thing that I want to do. It just helps you to kind of build that just build that confidence, and then wanting to step out. But I wouldn't say it's like something that I got past. It's still like a stigma, because people are like, what are you doing? Like trading, what exactly is that? Like, is it gambling? You know what I mean? Are you just setting money on fire? Or they think the opposite, like, oh, you're a trader, you must be making millions, or you know what I'm saying? So it's like ever evolving. It's not like you just get to a point and you're comfortable. I would say I am now, but it was a slow grind. It just, especially what helped me too is just putting my information out there. So once I start working with Ray, and I just start making, videos, and trying to show people that I did know, like just coming out and just saying like, it's a thing. And I think now even more than any now more than any time would be the best time to claim that you would be a trader, or that you are a trader, because I don't think it's getting seen as a bad thing anymore. I think it's definitely something like people are interested in and piqued, and it's not like a stigma, like, what is that? But still, within your range of day-to-day people, you still won't run into multiple day traders. You know what I mean? You may find one in your area. Like, I know a couple people around me that do trade, but most people that I know that trade is literally all online. So I hope that answered it a little bit. So let me see. Uh, so my bad, guys. I'm trying to get on all these comments. I know I've been locked in. Oh, Bryce said, "What's that website?" Baby Pips. Yep. So you basically put set your amount of money and just watch it. Yep. So, like for instance, the sell trade that I took last night. So, um, just to give you an example. So last night, I'm looking at this market for sales. So higher time frame, H8. We were already bearish because we were running out lows. We created sell side imbalance. I'm already geared towards looking for sales. So one thing that I do, I use the Asia Open as a level of liquidity I can look to target. So from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., I want to see highs be taken if I'm looking to sell. I want to see lows be taken if I'm looking to buy. We first run out the lows, we then come run out the highs, and then we got to transition. So once we start the transition, or once I enter into the market, so I'll just play this out here. So this is just a replay of price. So once we start, seeing price decline, I think I was looking at the M5. Yep. So once we start seeing price decline and I put on a position, so let's just say this is my position right here, like we took last night. This is where I'm determining how much money I'm willing to lose. So I'm determining that by a stop loss. So my stop loss is X amount of pips. So that's where a little bit of math will come in. So I have to say, how much am I willing to risk and what's my stop loss size. So for instance, I risked, I believe 125 on this setup and I made 290. I think it was 112 and I made 290. So with this setup, I'm basically, once I enter the market correct, I'm basically just watching this play out. So I don't have to sit and watch it. Once I set in my MetaTrader or in my trade locker or whatever, Tradeovate, whatever I'm trading on, I can set that limit. So once price reaches that limit, it's going to automatically take me out of the trade. Or if it reaches my take profit, then it's automatically going to take me out of the trade. So you don't have to sit and watch it per se, unless you like want to actively manage your trade. But as price is dropping down, this is when I'm making money. If I took a sell right here, now if I took a buy right here, as price is dropping, I'm losing money. You know what I mean? So if I got into a buy, let's say I thought price action was going to buy and I set my stop loss here. Once, let's say I set it for $125. If price just didn't go up and started going down and hit the stop loss, this is going to be a loss in the market. So I lost, whatever that 100 or whatever I put on there. So yeah, that's basically in a nutshell kind of how trading works. RJ said, you want to see orders taken, inducement. Okay, yeah, we read that one. Yeah, Fabo said, I would took a nice trade, seeing that fair value gap. Hunt Bowl said, can you show how you place your support and resistance? Yeah, I'll go over that. So I trade what's called order pools. So for example, even for the trade that we took last night. So my bullish bearish candles on the H8 and H3 time frame are going to be my order pools at that wick high. Now, the reason that I don't mark up this entire order block is because I'm an intraday trader. So this whole range, it would make sense for me to mark up. I'm going to go to a lower time frame and mark up an order block around that high that, so I can get a tighter window, so I can get the most, not sniperist entry, but very as close to it. I want to get in at the high of the move or the low of the move. So this would be a case of what I would say supply, or you would call resistance. So I usually go to like the M15, M30 on gold. So like this order block here, this bullish bearish rejection. See how I took this from the 8-hour time frame, but I condensed it down to a M15 order block. So then that way, as price is testing here, we had that whole range initially. So let's say I'm trying to sell here. Yeah, it will end up being correct if I place my stops above, but this is gold. So if I'm getting in here, this is like a 70 pip stop, which isn't too bad, but the main goal is to try to get, a smaller stop loss for a better risk to reward. So instead of getting chopped around in here, I wait until we get right back at that range, also correlated with what we just marked up, and then boom, we get shorts. Buy side, same thing. So I'm looking at order blocks. So bearish, bullish rejections, a sell candle first, followed by a buy candle. That wick low, I see as demand, and will be my order pool. So instead of marking up this whole order block, here, I'm dropping it down, going to like the N15, and I'm condensing it down here to this point. So now, based off of how the market reacted, actually we pretty much got close to retesting this today. Let's see, this might have been like an M30 order block, something like that. We don't have to change it, but the main thing is when we get back to these levels of supply and demand, we can expect a nice reaction from them. So because these as retail traders, we can't create the type of expansion that can be created from order block. That's why we're marking it from the exact low, because they are not getting in as prices, impulsing up. They're getting in at the exact low point of these moves. So that's why we're trying to highlight these, of course, imbalances as well as the order pools for higher probability areas of supply and demand. So Bryce said, if you were just starting out, but the knowledge you have now, where would you start or how? If you were to just start now, but with the knowledge that I have now, if I was just starting out with the knowledge that I have now, I would be hyper focused on building capital, like whether that's a second job, you know what I mean? Like if I can already take care of my bills with my first job, I would be more so building capital. I wouldn't. You can trade prop firms. Like prop firms are cool. I would say go. If with my knowledge now, I would use instant funded pretty much because really wouldn't want to work through a challenge phase and continue to give percentage overs to a prop firm challenge where I can make that same percentage in a personal account. So I'll be hyper focused on just building up my capital. That whether that's through trading or even through just working another job so I can build capital to put it into my personal account. I would say that's where I would focus on more. Um, and yeah, I would say starting out with like an instant funded account. The boomer baller said probably using daddy's money. Okay. I'm not sure where you got that from. Or what maybe what he was mentioning. A Smooth says, sounds like me, I understand you. People outside looking in don't really realize how big the trading world is. I mean, yeah, it's only gonna get better. It's only gonna get bigger. Pre-K to like third grade is all you need. Yeah, for sure. Definitely on baby pips. Losing said, are you selling right now? Nope, I'm not taking any trades right now. I took a short last night. Susan says, so you can buy and sell at the same time. I mean, technically you can, but yeah, you want to choose either one. So someone said, wait, there's instant funded accounts. Yeah, if you check out my page, I put up a post. It should be pinned on there. It's called Top One Futures. If you're trading futures, but some of the FX firms are also starting to do like an instant funding program. Alfredo said, goal of a prop firm is to leave a prop firm. 100%. Just Jazz said, did you teach yourself or have a mentor? So I started out in IML, and then I went on my YouTube university journey. I went through a lot of different YouTube videos. Um, I bought Swaggy's course, being one of the first traders I kind of seen online. Took his course. It was cool, but it didn't really fit my trading style. He was more of a swing trader. Then I end up then I went back on like my little YouTube university run. Then I learned from Chris Cole, who teaches like institutional concepts. So that's where I really got my introduction into institutional concepts like order blocks and imbalances and liquidity. That was the main three focuses that he focused on. From there, um, I took Ken Chigbo's course. His was like more fundamentals because I wanted to learn more about that. And then finally, like when I finally really got my breakthrough, I learned from technical guys at TGFX. And then that was like my last mentor. So Ray from TGFX was my last course that I bought. All right, guys, I'm getting to the YouTube chat. I see you guys. Um, Kim Kim Martin said, I'm thinking about opening a live trading account with TradeAvate, but I noticed that at least when I use TradeAvate with prop firms, after an hour or two, I can adjust my TP. I can't adjust my TP or SL from TradingView. I never noticed that. I didn't have any problem today. I mean, well, last night slash this morning. DJ Roscoe said, "Yeah, I played football. Most of my friends were other players, but trading, oh, you got one or two friends." And I agree with everything you're saying. Yeah, I mean, trading is like a different language. It's funny because my grandma, she'd be watching my videos and stuff, and she'd be like, "Yeah, I'm glad I got a grandson that can speak Greek." So I'm always laughing at that because it's just funny because it's really just a different language, and it's not something you can really like. My friends are cool. Like I can talk about trading. They ask me like, "How's it going?" But I can't get into it like that. So I usually have to talk to somebody that is already trading. Like if I'm talking to Ray or one of somebody from the community, or if I'm on here chatting it with you guys, like that's why I think it's important to be in a community. Of course, you ain't got to spend a lot of money up front. Just hop on these free lives and stuff like that. But you definitely want to be around people that's doing the same thing because nobody understands this journey. Like it's like being a high stakes poker person, poker professional or something like that. Payne says short BTC. Okay. Naeem said, are there any good Forex prop firms instant funded? So I can't speak for any. I used funding pips, but I never used their instant funding program. But they have one alpha funded trader also has an instant funded, and it was somebody else. Oh, Blue Guardian also has on the FX side an instant funded, and you can use those accounts with our new platform, Traders Impulse, to kind of lock your trading settings, whether it's that daily loss limit, daily target, trades per day. So you can actually use any trade locker account and sync it to whether that's if it's a prop firm account or just a regular account, and you can sync that to Traders Impulse. So you'll be higher likely to get a payout because, of course, you're going to be consistent in your rules. Excuse me. Decaf said top one futures instant funded, but there's probably a catch. So yeah, the catch with any instant funding account, guys, is consistency rules. So you have to be the type of person that, or the type of trader that's only going for base hits in the market. So like even last night, like I'm not gonna go for a higher risk to reward because I know, like let's say on my instant funding, right, I have to make $3,000 to pull $2,500 out. So $3,000, consistency rule of 20%, I can't make over $600 per trade. So that's, I mean, which isn't too crazy, but that means you're gonna have to have consistent. You're gonna have to be consistent because you got to hit smaller targets day to day, opposed to um, trading where you have a nice big target one day, one time is potentially break even, kind of making up for your losses. Because if you have a huge day, let's say you have a $1,200 day, now you have to make more because you have to fall within that consistency rule. So some people even trade these accounts and just don't even care about the consistency rule. They trade like they trade whatever profit they just stay consistent, with how they trade. So you got different ways to look at it. Some people don't even use the consistency rule. They just make more on their trades. So it's not like you have to rip apart your strategy or how you like to take trades, especially if you hold trades and stuff like that. But yeah, that would be the biggest catch on the instant funded. You have to, so in order to hit your target, you got to stay within that consistency rule. Just Jazz said, man, thank you so much. I got you, Jazz. No problem. Appreciate you hopping on. RJ said, watch the next 20 minutes for displacement, in my opinion. Yeah, let's check it out. Yeah, I mean, we starting to get an impulse here. We ran out that high that we talked about. So starting to see a little bit of a transition here. Again, we got that new day opening gap, so I would be careful just trading right into it because we could easily just respect it, continue higher. Aiden said, "How can I start with just $20?" You can start on Plexi with $20. Actually, Plexi right now, I forgot to mention, does have like a bonus, so they will match you whatever you put in. So let's say you put in $100, they match you with another 100, or if you put in 20, they match you with another 20 that you can leverage. But of course, you can't expect to make a bunch off of 20. I'm gonna be honest, unless that's like your lane, because there are people out there that do like flipping accounts, but I can tell you I had success early flipping account and then it was gone. You know what I mean? So that's a different lane. Some people do start out 20, 30, $50 and change it and flip it into, you know, 500, 1,000, so on and so forth. So I wouldn't say it's impossible, but as a beginner starting out with 20, you can at least put that into your broker account just to trade. And let's say you take trades where you're only looking to lose $2 per trade, but gain 6 to 8 to $10. You can do that too. You know what I mean? Just build it up slow, just to build your confidence. But for real, like a real profit, like life changing profit or something that's going to be substantial, you're going to have to build it up a little bit. But you can also use that 20, you know what I mean, make some on a personal account, see if you can build it up to around $50, $60, and then catch one of these prop firms too and buy like a smaller 5K account. Cause they got some, I think for some of the 5K accounts are only like $39. Peyton said, "Why are you watching the hour?" So usually when I'm looking at the chart, I'll look at the higher time frame until I'm really like ready to trade. So right now I'm not really biased on the sell side just yet. I did take sales last night, but price action, since we started switching bullish, I'm not convinced that the sellers are ready to take this back yet. So that's kind of my way of just staying out of the market, because when I start condensing down, going to M5 and 1, that's like when I'm in that mode, like trying to get ready to take a trade. Let me see. Bryce said, "What website are you using? Let me copy yours." LOL. Yeah, so you can use TradingView, but if you meant like that I learned from Technical Guys, so you can even check that out on YouTube. And then we got our Discord in the description and everything too. We got a full course that Ray's made from beginner to advanced. You can check out. A Smooth say, "You're not starting with $20. You might as well add 30 and get a 50K account and trade in Q." Right, that's what I said. You might as well just stack that up a little bit. Paul the Christian said, "I went over it, went from 3K to 4,100. Nice." Christian said, "What broker do you use?" So I use Plexi on my Forex accounts and TradeAvate on my futures accounts. The Patriotic Princess said, "What are we trading?" We're looking at gold right now, gold and gold futures. I appreciate you, A Smooth, commenting for me, because I'm like back forth. I appreciate you, bro. Uh, so yeah, I think that I'm all caught up on the chat. So yeah, guys, I mean, this session kind of went by quick. I was talking the whole time. It's almost 9 o'clock. So yeah, guys, basically just a recap of what I'm looking at right now. Um, will be one, we got the run of Asia Open. So we got the run of this high, but we got that new day opening gap below us. So we did gap up here, and then let me delete this here. And we did, have a strong impulse take us up basically the whole New York session. So with that, we got the 3 hour that did form a really nice imbalance. We got a run of a high. We're still within an imbalance range, but for me, we're starting to show signs of that bullish pressure. So I'm not, for gold especially, I'm not quick to sell until we got the higher time frames really aligned, because you'll just continue to get burned trying to sell gold. If you look at the weekly time frame, of course, if you're more of a like really scalp trader, of course you can catch sales all day long. But if we just look at this, just look at the weekly time frame, we can clearly see, gold has been bullish. How much money would we have made just flowing with this buy side since 2023, even 2022, instead of just trying to, go back and forth. Oh, it look like it's selling. Oh, it look like it's buying. The bias overall is bullish. You know what I mean? But I will definitely catch sales when the higher time frames are transitioning, like that H8, like that H3. So with us taking out lows here, creating sell side imbalances, I like that sell last night. But with this move back up, we look like we may invert this imbalance to the left. If we respect it, cool. But when I'm in that in between phase, that's where I like to just sit, wait, because I'm already trading New York too, so I can come back, see where we hold overnight. If we hold on that sell side, I may short again during New York session. Or if we hold and actually look stronger on that buy side, I may take a buy during New York. So I like to just get those confirmation, like those in between days, and then I'm literally, guys, only trying to really take maybe 2 to 3 good trades a week. You know what I mean? So that's just my style, but I know people got different styles. They want to be in and out of the market, catching moves basically day to day. But that's just me. Hey, Smooth said, I appreciate the TikTok. Never used it till today. Yeah, I just literally hopped on here too, like in April, and just kind of been putting all everything on here. So yeah, guys, I mean that's what I got for y'all tonight. Like I said, I'll be on here week to week, day to day, Monday night through Thursday night. We'll be on like around 7:30 until till 9, but I'll usually be looking at the market until 10:30 on and off, and then I'll post also in our Discord if I end up taking a trade. So if you guys need the Discord link, make sure you shoot me a DM. But I also will have, if you guys jump over to YouTube, you'll see that link in the Discord or in the YouTube description. So I post, trades in here as well when I do end up taking them. Of course, this one last night just kind of played out pretty quick. But I will post stop loss, take profit. When they do align, win or lose. So I don't want you guys taking this as like I gotta follow every trade Jordan takes because I don't win all my trades, and it is the summer month. We've been doing well this year, but just take it with a grain of salt. Use these sessions to learn, and then if you want to take a trade with me, cool. So that's what I got for you guys tonight. Someone asked, "Can I please short? Can I short BTC now? Please check." I got you real quick before I hop off. Braylon said, "How do you know what to invest in?" Um, Investments are harder. I wouldn't say I'm the king of investments. I did make some good investments that kind of helped me too in my trading journey, like to where I got to the point where I could just kind of get to the point of trading. So invested early into like XRP. Um, BITO was one that I invested in. That's Bitcoin's ETF. A lot of ETH I invested in kind of early. But honestly, like it's no roadmap. But one of the things that you can use. So if we just look at BTC, like it's crazy because I actually marked this up, but I didn't. I did put in. I bought some more BITO because it's cheap. It's like a stock, or ETF stock. But we were talking about this, not even this level, because this was early. We were talking about this level down here. So when we first start seeing that sell off from December, this was that weekly level I was looking at. Like, this would be the point to load in on some BTC, right? So what we can see from this high to this low, one thing you can do is like, okay, if you see talk about this coin or this stock, you can just see like, is it a good placement as far as like, am I trading am I at a high? You don't want to buy at a high, you definitely want to buy on a pullback. So with this last drop that we got from December, we dropped over 31%. So it's basically 31% off. So buying at this point would have been, a nice increase from wherever you bought at, even if you bought other cryptos that are kind of rising with Bitcoin. So I can't give you like long-term investment advice. That's something I'm still kind of working on and then learning more about the investing world. I'm more so just day trading, but I'm looking to get into that as I'm, building more. So, they're talking about sales on BTC. So we're at all-time highs. Let's see. Let's look at the 8 hour. 8 hour time frame, still bullish, but we pierced right at this high. And after this question, I'm gonna hop off, guys. So 3 hour, we got a decent reaction, but price action is still bullish. We got a buy side imbalance here. 1 hour time frame, we got this buy side imbalance. So we can see we can make it on the 1 hour just to tighten it up. After we got that run of the high, starting to get that shift. For me, I would say you can potentially sell, but I wouldn't necessarily sell BTC right now. But Bitcoin could be moving completely different from how I look at and analyze the market. This is, yes, a run of all-time high, and we're seeing a take profit event. But like personally, for me, how I would trade this would be waiting for like this buy side imbalance to get tested or this order block area and look for some type of transition here. If nothing happens here or we start inverting this level, then I would look for shorts. You know what I mean? So I would start to look for shorts if we get closure through retest, nice transition. Then I'll look for shorts. But outside of that, I would be bullish. I'm the type of trader that I'm biased on one side until price shows us otherwise. And just because we rejected here doesn't show me that sellers are here just yet. But from a scout perspective, yeah, you could probably short. Brandon said, well, are day trades, do you just go with ones that are low and then wait for them to go up to sell? So it's a little bit different. I'm buying and selling gold, not only trade specifically gold. Jacob said, me and my bro just started looking to day trading. Any advice? To start, so start on baby pips, look on YouTube and look up day trading for beginners, and then try to decide if you want to go into more so options or like forex and futures. But definitely baby pips so you can learn about the verbiage. Start from the preschool to like the third grade is what you need. I seen A Smooth comment that and just go from there. But yeah, I appreciate all the comments. I definitely enjoyed just hopping on with you guys. You had a lot of good questions tonight. I'm loving how these lives has been just kind of growing as well. So I appreciate y'all hopping on. Like I said, that's my analysis as far as gold. I probably won't take something tonight, but if I do, I'll definitely post it in the Discord for you guys. But yeah, let's definitely keep hopping on. Like A Smooth said, iron sharpens iron. But yeah, I'll see y'all on the next session.